just had a man pick me up for a date. He asked me if I was a man in the car. I said yes. This man turns around and takes me back home. Now, this is a very prime example of somewhat fragile masculinity, but also dishonesty. Not on my end, but on the end of the suitor. I met him last Friday at a club when I was out with my girlfriends. At some point, we duck off, we're talking, we're chatting, we're dancing, we're like really having a good time. We're throwing banter back and forth, we're being flirty, all these things. Mind you, I am flat chested as fuck. I am not a woman. I'm just a very beautiful man. Proceeds to kiss me, da 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 da, XYZ, right? Has been texting me every day since last Friday when I gave him my number. He proceeds to tell me in the car, I don't really know how to ask this, or, I really just don't know how to bring this up, but are you a man? And I looked at him and I was like, yes, I am. I'm just a very feminine man. He pulls over and he's like, I just want to sit over and just like kind of talk about this for a second. I've never been in this position before, so I'm just like not really sure how to handle it. I had an inkling of a thought, but I didn't want to ask you and you be offended if you were not. However, it's just not something that I'm into particularly. And I think that's part of a bigger conversation as it relates to Black men being interested in just feminine energy, period. He proceeded to apologize and he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just like felt like I needed to get this off my chest and at least just ask. But if I'm being honest, I was just like, okay, yeah, like that's fine. Like no harm, no foul. Like it's all good. He's like, is it okay if I just, turn around and take you back home? I'm like, absolutely. Yes, please. We sat there in silence as he did a U-turn and literally dropped me back off. But it goes to show that sexuality truly is a spectrum. And while people may not be into whatever parts people have or whatever they...
Hold on, but before he continues, he called this fragile masculinity. A guy who was extremely respectful, who felt like he had a good time, I guess when they met out at some club or something, texting back and forth, was about to take this person out on a date, and he asked like, yo, actually, are you a man? And here's the thing, because I feel like this dude expects men to just come out front and ask, right? But as a guy, that could ruin an entire night. And any ladies watching, y'all know good and darn well if a man turns to you and asks you, hey, are you a man? Like, you're going to be offended by that. You're going to feel some type of way about that. So as guys who trying to take out a chick, we're not just going to turn to the chick, hey, yo, are you a dude? You know what I mean? Because if she's not, and she's actually a chick, that's gonna ruin the whole date. You might as well just take her back home, because that's gonna ruin the whole mood of the date. She is not gonna be into it. She's gonna be turned off. It's gonna be a wrap. So I feel like it's on men, right, or people like him to like let folks know, like, hey, by the way, I don't know if you knew, but like I'm actually a guy, And I feel like the dude was actually super respectful, because we've all heard the stories of, things going in a completely different direction once the guy finds out, oh, you actually a dude? You know what I mean? Like that could end real badly, and we don't want to see any of that. Nobody should be getting hurt, but I just feel like the dude was super respectful. So how was that fragile masculinity or whatever he said? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just wild to me. Absolutely wild. But let's hear him out. Let's hear what else he got to say.
People may not be into whatever parts people have or whatever the case may be. People are just attracted to energy, period. Which is okay. That's totally fine. I completely respect that. I'm not one of those gays that are like, I'm going to go get the trade and do this, that, and the third. That's really not my vibe. And if you are, pop off queen, do your big one. But I guess my biggest problem is if you had an inkling of a thought or you felt any type of way, you should have quite literally just asked and been honest from the very beginning.
There it is. I knew it was coming. You can't just ask a chick that, bro. You can't. You You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I can tell this is a guy. You know what I mean? But hey, for some fellas out there, you know, it's a drought, man. It's a drought. It's a drought out there, you know. So you know, you start thinking with your dick head and not your big head. You know what I mean, fellas? Y'all feel me? So you know, he probably dark club, you know, thinking with his dick head, not his real head, and wasn't really paying attention to the signs. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I could tell this is a dude. The voice is too deep. You know what I'm saying? Like the hands. Like, yeah. Goodness gracious, man. Anyway.
I spent an hour and a half getting ready for a date. Not really into it, but like I was like open to, you know, just seeing what happens, what would, you know, transpire out of the whole situation. And yet, here we are. Now, this is a first for me. I've never had this happen to me before. This is something new to me. I'm not humbled in the slightest because I'm a bad bitch. Look at me. Like, hello. And I know this is not in vain. I know that God has a partner for me out in the world, wherever he may be. But that shit was crazy as fuck. And for my theys, my girls, my dolls out there in the world, y'all be safe out there. Truly just be safe. Because for a slight moment in time, I was actually kind of scared for a minute. But yeah, y'all, I don't know. Am I tripping? Y'all let me know what y'all think, because I've quite literally never experienced anything like this before. Like, oh my God, I'm like kind of floored. But anyway, on to the next, babes.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah, you tripping, bro. Yeah, you tripping. I want to read through this comment section. Let me see if the comment section passes the vibe test. He's the victim here, not you. Is this rage bait? Don't sound like he did anything wrong. Toxic masculinity would have been belittling and berating you. That was emotionally mature. Okay. What is the problem, sir? Okay. I think you should tell them up front, playing a dangerous game. Okay, so this comment section passes the vibe test. Okay, so everybody is telling this dude, like, yeah, you wrong. And he is. You should have let the dude know up front. You know you wearing makeup and a wig and you dressed up with the nails and everything else. Like, you know you are presenting yourself as a chick, especially in a dark club, people drinking, having a good time. Dudes is probably, you know, he thinking, once again, thinking with his dick head and not his big head, you know. So you know that you're a dude. You know the situation. You should tell the dude, hey, by the way, I don't know if you're gay or not, but I'm a man. Problem solved right then and there. Then you don't have to have that awkward moment where you driving somewhere and he turns to you and asks, are you a dude? Or even worse, y'all go back to the crib. You think he good with it. You think he down with the get down, and he's not. And he finds out, oh no, oh heck, you know what I'm saying? It to sit here, what's also crazy, and I'm gonna end it with this. To sit here and try to play like this victim card, you know, the guy has some fragile masculinity and, you know, I felt afraid. And from what he described, the dude was super respectful about it. Super respectful. I mean, over the top respectful. Pulled over to the side of the road, like, hey, can I ask you a question? Like, I've just been, you know, are you a guy? You know, is it all right if I just take you back home? Like, he didn't say, hey, get out the car, walk your back home. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't do none of that. Was super respectful. So how was he fragile? Or fragile masculine? How was that fragile masculinity? Like, if anything, that showed a lot of maturity. A whole lot of maturity. You think you taking out a chick and really it's a dude the whole time? You got played. You just found that out. You didn't dress to impress. You got this date set up for what you thought was a chick when really it's a dude. And you get hit in the face with that on the way. You know, I felt like Buddy was super respectful, over the top respectful. Anyway, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Do you agree? Disagree? Why not? Let me know. Stay safe out there. Peace.